Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches! RuPaul's Drag Race Season 10 Reunion! Really more like reunion. Or more like reunion.
That
was the one.
However you can put Debbie Downer's facial expression into a...
First things first. Shout out to our wine sponsor, Wink. Try wink.com/moviebitches. You get $22 off your first month of wine. You probably used the whole box in this first episode. Yikes.
This was awkward.
Yep.
And sad and uncomfortable. And kind of boring.
Yeah.
Until the last 10 minutes.
Yes.
And then it was
fun.
Pretty freaking great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you turned it off before the end,
you made a mistake.
You made a mistake because the best part was at the end.
It really was.
But we'll get there. Yeah. So we'll start with their looks.
Sure. I guess okay. Can we start with some more complaining?
Okay.
I just have to get it off my chest. I miss where they would have the queens walk in or
the first
them
queens and then they strut. They get a little moment. We see their entire outfit.
Exactly.
Strut.
Oh, you tell me, what have you been up to since you were the second person, third, fourth, fifth? I don't know when she left.
Third.
The thing that I really like about that setup is that we actually spend time talking to the queens about what they've been up to.
Yeah.
And I think that that's more positive and constructive than
And play the clip of your sad moment.
And now tell us more about this sad moment.
Relive your saddest moment on the show. What a bummer.
So let's talk about the looks.
Okay. So in no particular order, except of how I wrote them down.
Great.
Kardashian...
Calorie Kardashian Williams
is sitting there. I can't say comes down the runway or is out next or
no, she's there.
She's sitting there. In a big oversized sort of floral muumuu. It looked like a lot of fabric.
A lot of fabric.
It was a heavy, billowy fabric.
That was my note. It was basically my takeaway was a lot of fabric and then a lot of
just
midriff?
One side, though.
Yeah.
If it had just been a two-piece, here for it, sure. But it was just half, which seemed why. Yeah. And then there was feathers.
Yeah.
And giant blue hair.
Yep.
It was...
Not my favorite.
Not my favorite. Mm-hmm. If it had been a, sort of
top,
aloha, croppy top kind of thing with almost a sarong-ish skirt. Totally here for it.
And just be what? I'm wearing it.
So then next was Mayhem Pillar in this big curly sort of golden brown hair. Yeah. I really liked the wig. I thought it looked really she looked really pretty.
She looked really pretty.
The outfit seemed I don't know, whatever.
Well,
this also only saw it from here.
Sure.
Look, we could have looked them all up online. We didn't because it's weird that the show, you shouldn't have to.
Exactly.
So I'm just gauging it based on what the reunion showed me.
Yep. So then we had Dusty Ray Bottoms. I liked a lot of this. Yeah. I liked the kind of Mugatu Susie Luhu hair.
Yes, it was. It was definitely Dr. Susie.
Yes.
I liked a lot of this and I liked that this was a lot. I enjoyed that it was a lot of a look.
It was a lot. I don't mind the dots. I don't love the mouth dots.
Well, particularly, it was red.
It was
so
necrosis.
It looked like herpes. It just straight up looked like herpes on her lip. So it wasn't great, unless that's what you're going for.
But then tell me more of a story.
Then tell me more.
I feel like Katya would pull off a herpes look.
Oh, yeah.
It's a rash, not a herpes sore. I'm here for a look built around that.
She would be scratching her crotch.
Yeah, sure.
Getting in there. And she's got this black latex gown. It had all these little chain details and red accents. Mm-hmm. It was very intricate and detailed.
Yes.
And I liked it. And I like her edgier looks.
I agree. So the next was the Vixen. Yeah. And I thought she looked, for the most part, really lovely.
Oh, yeah.
She had this silver and gold leaf applique kind of thing.
Floral applique.
Yeah.
It was pretty. I thought this was really pretty. Her makeup looked good.
Yep.
I liked her wig. It was sort of like this braided into like a high pony with like a big crimped.
Yeah.
You know, I liked the volume of it.
Yes, certainly.
This was very pretty, and I thought she looked polished and nice.
For the little that we saw her, we'll get there.
We'll talk about it. So next up was the girl from The Ring.
Oh my god.
Oh no, I mean Yuhua.
Oh, I mean, I love this.
I loved this.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the most like polished of makeup.
Nope.
But I was having a lot of fun with it. And it made me laugh.
And she seemed like she was having fun.
Yeah, it's these stupidly long eyelashes, and just it looked like she was like coming out of the well, like blah, 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 you know, I'm gonna come get you. She was like some ghost girl, you know, and I was just like, yeah. Sure. And so every time they cut to her, it was just like, yes.
It was
her
funny.
Face
oh my god,
same.
her face was giving you a lot. And there was a certain point where I was like, she was giving me like Asia in the Butterface ad face, where it was just kind of like,
yeah.
You know, it's like the makeup was a lot. And I enjoyed this.
This was fun and funny and, you know,
and irreverent,
stood out.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
It wasn't just, oh, you look pretty.
It was memorable for this reunion.
Exactly.
For sure.
I wish she had brought a little more of this to the season.
Sure.
So then next was, I honestly, not just because I'm biased, thought this was the best look of the night. Monique Heart in this, like, popcorn carnival fantasy. Fucking loved this.
I loved this. This reminded me of, like, you know, in Greece when they're at the drive-in and there's, like, the popcorn and the hot dogs.
Let's
it's like,
go to the movies. Yeah.
This is, like, the drag personification of that, where it's just like, oh, you're a sexy popcorn? Yeah, you are.
Let's go as a sexy popcorn. Her hair was gorgeous. Her face was beat. These huge popcorn kernels everywhere. And then her purse that says, I'm here for the comments.
Yeah.
And then she opened it later and had popcorn in it. And I was like, yes, bitch.
And apparently she was handing out baggies because other people had bags
of popcorn. All of a sudden it was like, well, no, but Cameron had like a microwave popcorn all of a sudden.
Oh, God, I missed that.
Which was weird. And then Calorie was like, I've got a Ziploc. Yeah. I just loved this and thought it was so fun and funny. Yeah. And amazing.
I mean, y'all aren't going to be surprised, but I am here for motherfucking Monique Heart.
All of it.
All of it.
She was the shining light of this
reunion.
The
shining light. And she managed to have an emotional storyline and still be fun and fabulous.
Yep. She rides that line.
Yeah. So then next we had Ms. Cracker, and I was...
Ms. Lady Godiva?
Sure.
That's all I got from it.
I didn't get a lot from this. It was a lot of nude illusion.
She was Lady Godiva, Andrew. She's the big fucking long hair. Now, if she'd had a little pony,
yes.
She had the huge hair.
Sure, that's right. And I'd seen that hair. Oh, she had the same hair in a photo shoot at DragCon where she was doing like a real Rapunzel look. And I was like, yes, bitch, work. This didn't work for me as much.
Maybe in a standing up situation, it would have been better.
I think so.
I don't know. It did seem like later on her wig was giving her some problems.
Well, it's heavy.
Like it was, at a certain point it seemed like, oh, I have a headache.
Yeah.
But it was really just, I'm holding onto my wig.
Hold this here.
And then it was like, oh no, it just gradually was getting worse.
I was like, can't they give her fucking 2 minutes to just like readjust?
No, that thing probably weighs 100 pounds. If she'd had a little, you know, like those little ponies on a stick that you like ride as a kid.
Sure.
Maybe would have been more here for it.
Or maybe like a stained glass window to peer through.
I mean, I feel like Dusty would have had a problem with that. She was sitting behind her.
Not like 10 feet tall, just like...
What, just like a frame around her?
Yes, actually, I'm here for that. Just like a brick frame and then a stained glass window.
Not mad?
I mean, like, she would remove it at a certain point, but like, just, like, that would be like...
Oh, it's like her big fucking cape, and that's the collar.
Yes.
And then she takes it off.
Oh my god, I love it.
But also, maybe she's riding a little horse?
Maybe.
And going...
I think she rides the horse afterward, once she takes it off. So then next was Miss Banjee. Miss Banjee. I love that this is still a thing.
I mean, it's like the joke that is funny, and then you hate it, and then it's funny again.
Yeah. I think it'll continue to go through that
coming
wave.
Back around.
Yep.
I loved this. She looked like...
Oh, she looked gorgeous.
She looked like a widow on a telenovela. Oh. I was like, yes. Like, she's like, and I'm inheriting all the money, you know? It was good.
Yeah.
She looked beautiful.
Gorgeous. I was like, yes. But I mean, I was so proud of her too because I feel like we've got to actually see so little of her on the show. And obviously her presence was felt. But the look that she went out on, even though I kind of liked it. I mean,
I still don't hate it.
Right. There was a lot of personality in that look, and I really appreciated it. But whatever. But this was such an opposite thing to that look. It was like polished, elegant. Like, I loved this. I was like...
Loved it.
All over it.
Fully here for her to be on the next season.
Oh, 100%. So
the next was Monet Exchange with this... I loved this wig. This
the bow.
Huge bow with the bangs and the big kind of beehive-y thing going on behind it. I thought it was really cute. Mm-hmm. With her snatched waist.
Yeah, because she stood up. We got to see it.
And her little circle skirt. I thought this was super cute.
Yeah.
I wasn't, like, gagging, but I thought she looked
I thought she looked really nice.
And cute and, like, different. And I was like, oh, that's really fun.
Yeah.
Aquaria in this brown cow stunning look.
Oh my god. I love that both of my favorite looks are
inspired by Monique.
Yes. I thought she slayed this.
Oh, yes. I mean, she's got the little freckles were such a nice touch. Yep. She looked like if Jessie from Toy Story was like fashion moment, you know, like on the runway.
100%. My favorite part about Aquaria's performance in this season is that she turns a motherfucking look.
She knows her palette.
Yes.
And she knows how to head to toe, lips, eyes,
that glossy lip.
Wig, like it literally all goes together perfectly.
Yep.
Into one cohesive look.
Yeah.
And I love this
Nailed
as
it.
well.
I also just love that Aquaria decided that she wanted to pay homage to Monique Heart.
Yes!
You know, it was like, oh, I'm going to wear this brown cow look. So next, oh boy, was Cameron Michaels. Or should I say Mimi I'm First? With those raccoon eyes.
Oh, that was weird. This makeup was weird. It made it look like she had a bunch of plastic surgery. Mm-hmm. Like it was all smooth and puffed.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It was like, wait, did you actively do plastic surgery makeup?
Right, maybe.
I don't think you did.
No. But then that would have actually been really funny if she still had like the rhinoplasty
that would have been funny.
Case. Because it literally is like, oh, they broke my nose, and so I have two black eyes.
Right? And this
like
weird,
I'm a little puffy.
It just looked smooth and odd, and I just couldn't figure it out.
I really actively disliked this. God.
I kind of liked the headpiece. I thought that was kind of fun and interesting.
No, particularly because the color was like too similar to her skin tone.
Just the headpiece, kind of cool and interesting.
Maybe. Actually, I would have kind of liked that headpiece on like Monet Exchange without a wig, but like some fabulous makeup and like some earrings or something. You like. I think that could have been more interesting. Yeah. But on Cameron with this look, for me, it was a full no. So then Asia O'Hara looking gorgeous.
Like the queen.
Right?
She was just like, I am a queen.
Yes. Yes.
Royalty. Bow down. This huge wig. She just looked like diamond queen, showgirl, like fucking yes.
And her makeup was...
Her makeup was good because it wasn't just pretty makeup. Like it was like muted tones and like really good. Just on the edge of edgy. With the like heavy eye makeup and the dark lip. I thought she looked gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
So then, next was Eureka. I mean, it looked expensive. She looked simultaneously like Cinderella and the Wicked Stepmother. With like the huge fuck off sleeves, and it just was like a big blue gown.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't either.
Within the like jeweled...
The jeweled face.
She didn't look bad, but it's not my personal favorite aesthetic.
Sure. I just felt like it was crapped up.
Yeah, it was a bit crapped up.
It was like...
The lower lashes and the shit and the the earrings.
Yep, and it's like maybe you remove 1 to 7 things.
And then last was Blair Sinclair.
Oh boy. Who
I didn't write anything down because you literally couldn't see her because of Eureka's giant... king sleeves. She literally looked like a floating head. The whole time it was just like giant blue sleeve and Blair. And she looked so tiny. Just so wee. And there was just this huge fucking blue thing. And then just like, oh, hi. They put the tiniest person behind Eureka in this huge fucking dress. Hello.
Oh my god.
So, I mean, she had like a kind of 1940s, like red.
She had like an auburny, yeah.
You know, kind of swirled. Couldn't see it.
Sure.
Off in the yonder distance. It was like as if they put her chair further back than everyone else. It was wild.
Quick commercial break, and we'll be back with the rest of the reunion. I don't know how to really break it up.
So then we get our first...
retrospective?
What? Yeah, ish. With Miss Banjee.
Yes.
And we get... You know, oh, did you think Miss Banjee was gonna take off?
Originally, I was like, well, I need to get all my bookings quick and act like it's, you know, you was there the whole time. So when the promos and everything came out, I said, yeah, I made a show. What, you want to book me?
She seemed very real and very, like, realistic about what was going on. She wasn't bitter.
Yeah, I was on the show, yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Enterprising bitch. Love it.
And then we get a Miss Banjee montage of everyone saying it throughout, and then all of the tweets about it, and all of the memes about it.
Andrew Garfield?
And then Andrew Garfield saying Miss Banjee, and I was like, what? Of all the clips, how did they get the rights to that one?
Oh, I don't know.
It just seemed odd.
It was probably on a Viacom-owned channel.
Sure.
I was so disappointed to see Miss Banjee go, as everyone was. And that exit, were you taken over by a divine entity? And like I felt it's hypnotized the culture. Miss Banjee.
She's only won me over more.
Oh, absolutely. I'm 100% on board for Miss Banjee. That is her new name, right?
What's her other? Oh,
Vanessa Vanjie Mateo. Like she's just a
Miss
she's Miss Vanjie.
She's renamed herself.
If she hasn't, then that's a mistake.
Yes. Well, and I did like Miss Cracker.
It's like gay aloha now. It's like hello, goodbye, and thank you.
It's true. Miss Vanjie. Literally could be anything.
They were throwing those cookies at me. I had to dodge them.
The cookies they threw at her on the stage?
I was ducking and dodging the cookies.
But then they talked to poor Monique.
I know. She's like, oh,
haven't we seen
did we already see this?
Really? Didn't we watch this already?
No, we really don't have to show it again.
You know.
I guess they do have to show it again.
I think they wanted to talk about it. I mean, you know.
This more than other things seemed like, hey, what was going on?
Sure.
Like, this was such a mess.
Sure.
You know, it seemed like we should probably talk about it.
Sure.
Where other things, it was like, we don't need to talk about this again.
We don't have to bring it up.
She seems like pretty embarrassed.
Yes.
And that she fucked it up so hard.
Well, I think that was I really liked the realness of that conversation, though, where it was like, this is not only the most important part to not fuck up, but it's also the part that I do day to day and to like make my living, and I fucked it up, so it's like really embarrassing and and I'm like, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. And Ru asked her point blank, why didn't you know the words? And she's like, I was up all night making that outfit.
Was the outfit worth not?
Clearly it was not.
I still am like, why weren't you making that outfit while listening to that song on your iPod over and over and over and over again until you were insane? Maybe that's what happened.
Maybe that's what happened. She was like so sleep deprived, it just went away. Not sure.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot going on, you know, but
Totally.
It's a bummer.
To get to this competition and then to F up the very thing that you do, how you pay your bills.
I don't know, there was a lot of instances this episode where I was like, what? Like, I didn't comprehend what ended up being a conclusion to this.
Oh, no, because they would just get, like, dropped or whatever.
She's like...
The cameraman zoom in.
This bitch is forever editing and directing this mother show.
Did you keep going? America saw me after that kept going. Was the song over? No.
Next.
It, like, didn't go anywhere, and he didn't zoom in, and then it was just like, anyway.
Yep. This seems like the opportunity where it's like, maybe Rue, you should shut up and let her direct it and have that moment for reality TV where she's like, okay, cameraman, zoom in. I'm going to give you the soundbite.
Right.
And then you say, oh, she's done. This bitch always directing everything.
Yeah.
Then you do it.
Yeah.
But, like, don't interrupt it because now you ruined that moment.
And then they talk about the double save.
Yes.
lip sync.
Yeah.
And it was pretty uneventful.
Pretty much.
And then they talk about the Cracker Cameron lip sync. And this was odd a bit. Ru is basically like...
For people my age, we know that song is a super sexy song, and you chose to do it as a super sexy song. And you chose to do it as a comedic.
People my age know that song is supposed to be really sexy. And I was like, I mean, if you've heard the song, you know it's called Nasty Girl.
If you're a human who speaks English...
It's called Nasty Girl.
Yeah, you get it. This was really mind-boggling to me where Ru goes, well, this song is all about sex, and Cameron, you went for the sex angle, obviously. And I was like, what?
I mean, she did? She didn't not, but she also didn't. You know what I mean?
And then there was like, but Cracker, you went for the comedic angle.
Yeah, and then she was like, well, would you change that knowing now and try to be sexy? And Miss Cracker was like, no, when I try to be sexy, I look even more of a mess. I would have lost harder had I tried to be sexy.
I get that.
I get it. And I'm like, well, that was her angle on the song. I really thought they both were not very great in that lip sync. So that was my problem with it. I was like, but they could both go home and that'd be fine.
They both could have gone home.
We bring up the whole like Vixen stirring the pot with like the Aquaria Cracker versus thing feud going on, and they play that whole clip again. And then
they had to fill that time.
It was an hour and a half. Why didn't they have them like lip sync at the end? Or,
why didn't they
dance or have them walk in? Or,
They've done that before. Why didn't they have Miss Congeniality, Miss Fan Favorite?
Fan Favorite.
I don't know. It was bizarre.
Yeah, Fan Favorite. Yeah, that's fine. You can be Fan Favorite.
You don't love me. I mean, this is like
the
night
opposite.
And day with last year's.
Like everything's really awkward, and it feels like Ru's really has like an agenda for everything.
Right. Well, it was like they were trying to make the Vixen out to be crazy or aggressive for having brought this up, and I thought that was a weird angle.
In Untucked, the girls had convinced me to believe that Cracker was this monster.
Don't say the girls. Don't say the girls.
But they were acting like, oh, you were the only one at fault kind of thing.
Oh, the entire time.
For everything.
But starting here. And I was so confused by this because I was like, why aren't you praising her for, one, being fun and Untucked, two, bringing out the fucking tea? Why are we doing this nonsense of like, oh, well, I'm not going to say they said this, but I'm not going to tell you. Like, no, fucking, too vague. You said this nonsense behind their fucking backs, and I'm just going to fucking say it.
Because then we find out that Aquaria and Cracker, like, talked afterwards.
We agreed that we did not want this to be a part of our story.
Hey, we don't want this to be our narrative and our arc. Let's kind of let this all kind of dispel. And I was like, if Vixen hadn't brought it up, maybe it would have festered and been more under the, you know,
that's true. Right. Oh, she said like the next week, she said this about you last week on Talked or whatever, like it was more gossipy. Whereas Vixen bringing it up right there and then allowed them to do that. That's a really good point.
So it might have changed things.
Sure.
For the better.
Yeah.
And we get to the big Eureka Vixen fight.
Yeah.
And they play the whole fucking tape.
Well, not the whole tape. That was what was interesting to me.
That was the next week that Eureka said I was testing her.
Well, yes, no.
Or was it in the same
No,
Untucked?
it was in the same Untucked.
Oh, okay.
She said it in the Virginia Slim's Exterior Illusions Lounge.
So tonight, bitch, I'm sorry, but I wanted to test her a little bit and see how she would act if I said one thing to her like she says to me.
But there was more previous where the Vixen had already been kind of... They'd both been testing each other.
Right.
And you could see it building. Whereas they started this clip with Eureka just saying...
I want to go for a fucking smoke.
Exactly. I'm done listening to you. I want to go smoke. Which was so dismissive and disrespectful.
I mean, and it just built and was like craziness and piled on top of each other. And I was genuinely happy with the Vixen's response in the reunion. She seemed... like more evolved, mature about it, trying to come at it from an outside perspective. She said, I had never seen myself that angry. It was really embarrassing. And my boyfriend even said he'd never seen me that mad before.
Every time there was a little awkward thing that happened between me and Eureka, I tried to push it away. I had like tried as hard as I can to be non-confrontational.
But during the fight, so they're showing the whole clip and the whole fight and whatever. And then I love, we get Monique being like,
But then we get the Vixen like lip-syncing to her own.
Go get your fucking cigarette or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like doing it right on time. And I was like, oh good, she's having fun with this. Like she's moved on.
Yes.
She's learned from it, hopefully. And I really thought that. I wrote down like, oh, the Vixen seems like she's in a good place and she's like in a better state of mind.
You weren't defending yourself. You said yourself that you were attacking me. So you poked at me until you got me upset enough to make you look like the victim.
And she's throwing out these really good lines, even when it starts to turn.
Well, because Ru won't really let it go.
No.
The Vixen is talking about like, oh, there was a bunch of instances leading up to it, weeks prior or whatever, where it would be like a little awkward thing and I kept being like, it's cool, you don't need to react to this, like calm you down, and it was always with Eureka, and this was when it exploded.
I thought that was a really interesting thing. She said all the 5s that were out the door, and all I had left were 10s, and it's like that's a really interesting. I get that too. Where you're like, at a certain point, you're just like, I can't.
And then she says, I went home. And I was so worried that I was going to be this monster, and I
brought this on
so bad, and that I had caused this, and it was my fault, and I triggered all of this. And then I saw the tape when Eureka was like, "Oh, I was testing her. I was poking the bear to see what would happen," and it pissed me off that I didn't cause that by myself.
And then I find out that she wanted me to go there. She took me there on purpose.
Yeah, but that's like saying, eat the cake, Anna Mae.
Oh, so it is my fault?
You had a choice.
Well, you need to learn how to not react. And she's
like, everyone's telling this was I think the
Vixen...
best line of this entire reunion.
Yeah.
Everybody's telling me how I should react, but nobody's telling her how to act.
And listen, you're not off the hook either, Eureka.
And I was like, damn bitch, you are right.
Mm-hmm.
And that is fucked. And I think Eureka was the most in the wrong of the two of them, looking back at this multiple times.
I think you can just say they both blew up and
but
we don't need to say it was your fault or whatever, but it did seem calculated on Eureka's part.
I think the problem is there's now 5 of us talking to the Vixen, telling her why you didn't have to do that.
Once again, everyone is returning on the Vixen and all saying you were wrong for reacting this way instead of like you both fucked this up.
Right.
And it was like, yeah. And then Ru does say, well, Eureka, you have to answer to some questions too, or whatever. And she's like, you always talk over people and da-da. And the whole time Eureka's going, yeah, yeah, I know, like talking. And I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But do you admit that you have a problem being able to not say anything? Somebody says
this was a real not cute look on Eureka for me.
Yeah, and it's honestly, it really is something I've tried to work on as far as like the thinking people all have to like me.
It's not something you have to work on. It's just something you just have to do.
Yeah.
So then, it seems like, Eureka says, I really want to put it past us, and like we talked about it, and I did apologize and whatever, and it seems like they're kind of coming to a conclusion, but then Ru won't let it go.
What's wrong with telling someone the truth?
Well, if you're going to tell the truth and it's going to create tension in the room, then that is creating a fight. You also have a choice to not say anything.
I thought she was coming at this very calmly. She didn't get confrontational. No. She didn't get yelly. She was just like, I have perspective on this, and this is how I feel about it. And I was just like, yeah.
And she was calling things as she saw them, but also as they were portrayed on camera or whatever.
Right.
And so she said, I just want to point out that you came to me off stage and said, well, how are we going to spin this or turn this or
how do we want
to play this narrative angle?
And that was the moment that I knew that everything you had done was intentional and that you were also going to produce how we fixed it. And that is why throughout the competition, I never trusted you again.
And I don't think that approach is ever going to go well with the Vixen.
Oh, no.
Because the Vixen is all about truth and, openness and, like, this is what it is.
Well, so then she says, like, I didn't trust you from there on out because I knew you were just playing this game and playing me.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that's fair.
But Ru won't let it go.
Nope.
And so the Vixen is like, okay, then I want to say what I came here to do. Thank you to all my fans, everyone who supports me, everyone who understands me, everyone who believes in me.
And appreciate me. And now that I've done that, y'all can have a good night.
Wait, Vixen, can I say something? Wait. Okay, no. Well, Vixen.
You're not beholden to them, There's like this thing
I did sort of love that. I was like, is she like not gonna come back? Like I was like, oh, they'll be like, oh, come back or whatever. Nope. Oh, she's just gone. I was like, kind of boss.
Kind of. And that was interesting too, where like then they have the conversation. Ru has this whole speech about like, this is my house, I invited you and you're disrespecting that invitation by leaving and whatever. And it's like, sure, but also you were disrespecting her.
I can't do anything for this person unless they want to meet me halfway.
Valid, but I also feel like earned authority is real.
Just because you're older doesn't mean that you immediately deserve respect.
Right.
You have to earn respect, and you have to treat me with respect in order to get that respect back. And Ru did not treat the Vixen with respect.
No.
And I don't understand why.
I was confused.
Ru should be wanting to amplify that voice.
And help her.
Exactly.
And then Asia gave a very eloquent and emotional speech about how we should all be behind each other and celebrate each other, and we shouldn't just be like, okay, we'll write you off, fuck you then.
The Vixen seems to me like a person that's crying out for help. And it's like, everybody else is like, girl, that's on you, you gotta figure it out.
And this is Pride Month, and we need to be together as a community and not deject people. I mean, she went all in.
She did.
It's just ridiculous that our thought process about people is so self-centered that if it's hard to help somebody, we'll just let them struggle.
And I really appreciated this too. I thought this to me was a winning speech.
I was like, oh, so Asia should definitely win?
Exactly. This is exactly what the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race should be doing. Like literally leading and using her voice and trying to help. I really, really appreciated this.
Here we are filming during Pride season, and we let one of our sisters walk out the room because nobody wanted to help her.
And it felt very sincere.
Very sincere.
And like, I was all in.
Particularly because it felt super sincere in the sense that like, she was willing to put everything on the line.
Oh yeah. Because she did not back down.
Ru. No,
she did not back down. Ru.
She came for Ru and was like, this is wrong.
Do you think there's anything we could have said to the Vixen to make her stay?
It's not about what we say, it's about what we do.
What could we have done?
I had got up and walked to the door and said, the Vixen, we need you to stay.
And what really annoyed me about this from Ru's perspective, and I understood a lot of what Ru was saying.
Yeah.
Certainly did. Sure, you can't help someone who doesn't want to be helped.
Yep.
But the Vixen isn't an addict.
Well, and I didn't get the sense that she didn't want to be helped.
No.
And I didn't get the sense...
She wanted to be heard and respected.
Yeah. She seemed like in such a better place that I was very confused by this response.
Very confused.
I can't teach her that through my own example.
Of course you can.
What, am I gonna go back and follow her?
No, I don't expect you to do that, but
But look at me, goddammit. I come from the same goddamn place where she comes from.
And I was like, dang, Vixen really hit a nerve or something with Ru. Maybe Ru really sees herself in Vixen and like couldn't disassociate them or something.
Maybe.
It seemed like very bizarre to me. The fact that she wrote her off so definitely just felt un-Ru. But definitely here with Asia. Like I was like, yes, what you're saying is the truth.
Right? This was like a opportunity for a real emotional moment where it's like, you know what? I will listen to you.
Yeah.
I will admit that I was not giving you the respect due, or I wasn't paying attention to what you were saying.
Or even for her to give an inch to Asia about it. To say, you know what? You're somewhat right about this or whatever, and I hear what you're saying.
Or even, God forbid, let's pause for a second and can some fucking PA please go grab her and tell her that I want to apologize.
Or that I want to talk to her.
Exactly, at least.
And then they have this whole fight. Asia says this. Ru's like, this is where I've been. She says a whole lot of things. She goes, well, we're drag family. We don't always get along, but here's another clip. It was like, wait, what?
And at the end of the day, we are all a drag family. And as you can see here tonight, it doesn't always come easy. I want you to take a look at this.
And then they proceed to show Dusty's like conversion therapy clip, and it was like, what? It was like the weirdest transition.
The weirdest transition. I mean, they obviously weren't ready for it to have gone that direction.
Absolutely not. But it was just like, what? Like, it was very crazy.
Yeah.
Again, this was very emotionally impactful when we saw it in the episode. It was like, we're just showing the whole clip again.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we're going to picture it with her tearing up again, watching herself. And I'm like, sure, but why?
But why 8 times?
If you don't mind, would you tell us what is conversion therapy?
Conversion therapy is a cleanse and a confession.
It wasn't like particularly new information.
No, it wasn't particularly additive. No. It was just kind of like reiterative.
Yeah.
And I didn't necessarily need any of those points to be reiterated because they were strong and poignant when they happened.
Exactly. And so, and this was like the first of them. And then it was like,
yep.
And they just got more and more like, really?
We're
just really just revisiting this again. Ooh, okay. For me, Monique was the only one who kind of gave me some new emotions.
Yes.
They then, back to back after Dusty's, show Monique's clip about like being her true authentic self and how fruity she is.
I'm seriously fruity.
And dealing with religion and being gay and you know, all of that stuff. Didn't need the whole clip again, but we got it. Yep. And then Monique, I thought, gave a really good, powerful answer about, I didn't find my true authentic self until I put on a wig and I got that mic. And then I had young Black men come up to me and say, I want to be like you.
Yeah. And I saw this kid and I said, know that you are loved and you are so worth it, and go twirl, like go give it to her.
And how she wanted to be...
Like she couldn't have done that, but yeah.
She wants to be that kid that has all those doors wide open for him, but she couldn't be. But she can be like, the poster child for it or whatever. And it was like, yeah.
It was really nice.
It was good. It was good.
Because I wanted to be that boy, but I couldn't be that boy. So to be in the day and age where they can, that means so much.
Well, so then next it was like, now we're going to show Blair's sad story, emotional beat. And it was just like, really? Like, really? Okay, so we show her whole clip again, and then Blair responds to it. And, you know, we got a few new tidbits about how she shared with her mom her trauma and all of that. And it's all very important. But when you just beat it home and replay it and replay it and replay it, it just waters it down every time.
Exactly. It just really hardens you to it. You know, you're just kind of, it's like, well...
Man, I don't want to feel that way.
No, I don't want
to... and here is all of the tragedy mirrors.
Yes,
you know,
should feel really sad and emotional about this. And it's like, no, but like, that's not... It's not good storytelling.
I have gone through something so painful, so haunting and hurtful, but it's only been received back to me in so much love from everybody else.
Well, I think too, if they had broken it up like they typically do with like the 3 and the 3 and the 3.
And then
exactly. Miss Banjee, you did this, but Blair Sinclair, oh my God, that's really rough. Tell me about that or whatever. And you edit it together, and maybe some of them don't make it to air, and some of them do, and that's just the way that the cookie crumbles.
Those cookies.
Oh my God.
Then right after Blair's, it's like, and now Monet's sad story about it. I was like, oh my God.
Yep.
Like, really?
And then they have Yuhua, where it's like, oh, Yuhua, your parents don't, we don't, it's best not to talk about it, otherwise then it just makes it worse and whatever. And it's like, well, maybe you just let them deal with it in their own way in time, Rue.
Right. Why don't you ask what they're up to? What are they doing next?
Sure.
What's the most exciting thing you've done since you got off the show?
Exactly, or whatever. Something,
So then they're like, let's do a toot and a boot.
Right.
And then they just like do 3 looks.
It
was like, Cameron's feather queen look.
Yeah,
toot. Yes. Miss Cracker's silver fox look. Yes, toot. Monet's sponge dress. Boot, girl, boot. And then she like brings out the fucking dress. Well, since you asked, does the dress still exist? Yes, Rue, here it is. Can I get a toot? And it was like more fun than other things had been. But then it was just like, anyway, next segment. I was like, what?
Oh. So then they do like a whole clip of like,
judges' outtakes.
Yeah.
Mostly. I mean, most of them were like, what?
Yeah.
Like, oh, Corey Love and Carson, aren't you going to start dating now? Yeah. What?
Yes, and we would make it fantastic.
Oh my God, we could share makeup.
Okay. I would watch that show.
I would watch that show.
Courtney Love and Carson?
I would
as roommates?
I would absolutely watch that show.
Yes. Where's my boa, Carson? I love that the Vixen is just like, oh my God, Kumail, you're so hot.
You are so hot.
Isn't he so hot? So, I know, right?
Okay.
Wow.
Sorry.
I changed my mind. Your panel was great. Really amazing.
And then his wife, Emily, is just like, isn't he so hot, right?
Oh my God. And then I love that Kumail's like, never mind, I changed my...
I loved it. Your panel was amazing. You're great. You're the best.
Oh my God, and then Monet talking to Andrew Reynolds.
Right around Spring Awakening when you were there and kids like sleeping outside the theater for like days to hopefully get a ticket, and you would sometimes pop in there and bring them coffee and donuts.
That was Jonathan Groff.
This had me dying, particularly because it was something that I would do.
My first thought was, Monet's been in New York since Spring Awakening?
Well, that was, sure.
Like, that was a while ago. And then I was like, wait, he wasn't in Spring Awakening?
I'm thinking of Book of Mormon.
Book of Mormon, that works too. Look, we're gay and we're white, so we sing high. I am on board for all of it.
Jonathan Groff is cuter.
They kind of blend together. Maybe
Sure.
I'm not quite sure what Jonathan Groff looks like.
Jonathan Groff was in Looking.
Didn't watch it.
Well, he was also in Frozen, but obviously you wouldn't see his face.
Oh, that's why I know his name so much.
Yeah. I don't know what else he was in.
Cool.
That you would...
Like, I feel like he's just like dark-haired white guy.
Basically. He also, do you remember Glee?
Yeah.
He looks a lot like the Darren Criss.
Look, I was literally gonna say, wait, isn't he the guy that looks like Darren Criss? But he does, right?
Yeah, they look
good,
like brothers.
Good.
Ooh, not
like Darren Criss, Jonathan Groff.
Like musical brother. Here for it. Not sure what it is yet. We'll work on it.
All right, after the break, more drama, Mama. Don't go anywhere.
And it was like, oh, now Miss Cracker is gonna talk about how much Asia hurt her feelings.
Right.
The person that I do not think is a star in this lineup is Miss Cracker or Miss Crumbs.
I took that phrase and I beat myself for months till I couldn't get out of bed.
And while I feel for Miss Cracker, it seems like you definitely should not put that much stock in someone else's opinion.
Yep.
And that's an unhealthy reaction.
Yep.
That was something I was already telling myself. You opened it in me, but that's the story.
Asia, I think, really honestly says, I'm really sorry that I said that. When the second it came out of my mouth, like, it was not
it's
cool.
Interesting to me, though.
Mm-hmm. She never said, I think you're a star now.
Yep.
She just said, I should not have said that.
Yep.
Do you still stand by saying that she's not a star?
That was wrong, and it was hurtful for me to say that.
So then the show ran out of ideas and was just like, does anyone have any questions? Just an open forum of questions. Anyone?
Mayhem is like, oh, you guys didn't like my looks. And they're like, no, it wasn't that. It was just that they were great.
Asia keeps it real while still being a classy lady.
Yes.
Because she was just like...
I did not personally care for your Martian looks, but I wasn't just going to go over there and say, girl, I don't like that, because you and I don't have a friendship like that.
It was never an instance of me saying, oh, Mayhem, you look fabulous. And then in Untucked, she looked like a fucking mess.
Right.
That was never what happened.
No.
I said that I loved your trash bag look, and I did. And I said that I did not like your alien look, and I do not.
Right.
Like, I agree with both of those statements.
Exactly. This reminded me of Alexis and Michelle, where it's just like, why are they going to tell you that your blue dress is terrible? That's not their job.
Did you ask?
Right?
And I did love that. So, like, Mayhem was like, I thought I looked great every single time I walked out on that runway. And then we get Dusty being like, and they, like, zoom in on him.
I thought every time I hit that runway, I was put together.
And this is basically where the episode got good. Oh, yeah. So then Monique is like, okay, I have a question. Cameron, why on the show were you so quiet, and on social media you clap back and you always have a response and you're a real sassy bitch?
Cameron, you stunt queen, strategizing the house down, faces of many.
And Cameron tries to be like, oh, I was so intimidated. I mean, I didn't realize this. She says, I had stopped drag. I was a hairdresser working full time, and then I kind of happened to audition and get on. It seemed a little suspect.
Yep.
And so I was just so intimidated that I was like quiet. And I was like, I mean, maybe like yeah, sure, maybe a little bit, but like by week 10, I mean, come on.
Thank you.
You were kind of making this happen. Oh, when the camera's off, you're real chatty. Okay.
It wasn't a strategy. It was me doubting myself the whole time. I'm the same way that I am on social media as I am in person at my shows.
Dusty chimes in and is like, girl, I try to get your attention. I have to be like, hello, I'm here, like, hi.
You never say hi to me at like events or whatever. You're just like
really chilly.
I don't have a relationship with you. I don't know if many girls have relationships with you, but it's almost like you don't want it at all.
Cameron is like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, basically. She's like, I mean, I feel like I say
maybe
hi.
I come off that way to some girls.
I'm sure some girls feel like that. I don't have a close relationship with everyone here, but
And then that funny interaction between
my God,
Banjee.
I love this.
Because Monet is like, or whatever, and
Banjee's
Banjee's like, you too? Me too? Yeah.
I mean, this really was so telling to me.
It was very interesting, because I feel like I don't really know Cameron at all, and so it was like, oh, there's...
I feel like I don't really know Cameron
on.
at all, and yet the more I get to know her, the less I like of her.
I mean, this was like not very cute.
It's not a cute look.
Monique was fucking hilarious.
Oh, yes.
As I feel like I say hi, I feel like I say that you look great.
Sis, I love you, but you will walk clear into a room and just go, and
So then, like, when people start to really pressure her, like, well, what is that about? Ru is kind of like, do you not talk to them? Like, what is this about or whatever? And Cameron kind of makes a
She
face.
makes a real bitchy face.
And Monique is like, see, that girl, where is she?
Who is she about?
Who is she?
I don't want it to put shady clips about me, but it's like, if you don't have something shady to say, then that's not gonna happen. You
see
know what I'm
that
saying?
girl right here. This girl, who's she?
She's like, who is this girl? Who is this?
That one right there. You just said, who's she?
She calls
her
out.
I loved it.
But in a fun Monique.
Exactly.
It was like a fun, shady.
It feels like you don't care. That's what it is. So it's not like you gotta be, oh, boo, woo, woo, woo. No, just, hey, fish, keep it pushing. That's it.
Like, boo, woo, woo.
She grabs Miss Cracker's
Miss Cracker
tip.
meanwhile is holding her wig in place and be like, ah! Hey, fish, keep it pushing.
Oh my God.
Move on.
I love this. This is my new way of greeting people. Hey, fish, keep it pushing. Bye.
She is a catchphrase machine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Monet says, you told us all. Well, I don't want to say anything shady so they can edit it so I look shady.
Right.
And Monet is like...
That gives me pause, like, okay, what does Cameron really think about Monet? What does Cameron really think about Monique? I think that's what is the disconnect for me.
Exactly. What do you really think about me? Are you just
Exactly.
pretending to be nice? And it was like, oh.
Is she even pretending to be nice? It seems like she's not that nice.
Well, I mean, by saying nothing.
I mean, I guess they say, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. There was a really funny cartoon that I saw that was like, if you can't say something nice, then say something biting and funny. Or witty. It's like,
Okay.
Yes.
It's the Bianca Del Rio motto.
Basically.
And then Ru announces that the library is open.
The library is open.
The library is open.
Let's take one last trip to the library.
It reminded me of, there's this old Martin Short comedy special with Phil Hartman and everybody. And his wife keeps saying everything wrong, so she keeps saying library and pillow and stuff. And he's just like...
One more mispronunciation could send me over the edge.
Bill, yesterday when you gave that wonderful speech at the library, all of the people were moved. So...
Library? Your brain is like a computer of complete wrongness.
Your brain is a computer of complete wrongness. And he's just like, ah!
All right, bitches, the library is open.
The library is open, and Kardashian decides she's gonna read her, and she's
Miss
just like,
Banjee.
What, bitch?
How does it feel to have a catchphrase last longer on Drag Race than you did?
I'm glad I have a catchphrase. Who are you again?
And Monique and you are
Oh my
like,
God, yeah.
ah!
So good.
Wakanda fish.
Clearly she's talking to Monet.
What kind of fish is that?
It's so stupid. It makes me laugh so much, though.
Aquaria is quick.
Yes.
I know you seem to have gotten close to Miss Cameron Michaels, and that's really surprising because no one gets close to her without a $50 meet and greet.
And then Dusty goes all in.
All
on
in.
Eureka, on Cameron, on Blair, on Michelle Visage.
Just fucking burn it to the ground.
Michelle Visage, never loved ya.
Library is closed down.
It
Just
was a dressmaker.
Yes.
And then at the end of Dusty's reads, Monique is just on the floor.
Oh my God. Just dead. So then last, Ru says, okay, well, there's one last chance for all of you queens to say who you think should be the winner.
Right. And they go down the line, ask every single person.
Yep.
And it's like pretty evenly dispersed between Aquaria Eureka and Asia, and no one picks Cameron.
And I just love that the entire time the camera keeps cutting back to her being like...
I mean, not even like a mention of her.
Nope.
Not even like, well, I think Cameron did good at this or whatever. No one was playing nice. Nobody was... I mean, I was like, oh shit! So this reunion was a big dud.
Yeah.
I mean, the last 20 minutes were pretty great.
Pretty fun.
Like, Monique
but
really
it should have
saved
been
it.
all of that.
The last bit was kind of fun.
Well, and you know what's kind of a bummer is that they filmed this after all of the Bob the Drag Queen race comments came out. Because I feel like that could have been an actual interesting conversation.
Right.
And I think that that's actually somewhere where the Vixen could add a lot of her voice.
Yeah.
And would be really helpful. And, I mean, that's just timing, I guess. And I'm glad that that conversation is being brought up now.
Right.
Speaking of... Everyone make sure to follow all of these fabulous queens on social media. Monique Heart should have 10 times as many followers. So, like, get on that.
Yes.
Look at your life. Look at your choices. Click follow. Go on your mom's cell phone and also click follow.
You know the password.
Well, so cheers. I mean, I'm very nervous about next week's finale. It's the same Wheel of Death lip sync off.
I mean, I hope people bring it and, like, turn out a performance.
I think
they learn from Sasha.
Yep.
And they learn from what Shay and everybody didn't do.
Yep. So.
And turn out a fucking performance. I'm here for it. I'm here for some performance art.
I am too.
Who is this girl, though?
Who's this girl?
Cheers to Monique fucking Heart.
Cheers all the time. Oh.
Hey, fish, keep it pushing. That's it.